Welcome to Tune In Tuesday. It's episode 42 of the Patriots podcast, live streaming from the America First Warehouse, the most
patriotic venue in all the land.
In all the land. We broadcast every Tuesday night at 7:30 p.m., so we're happy to have you join us. And today is our candidate, I guess.
Yes, tried to focus it on the candidates and
we have
elections coming up. It's the topic.
Yeah, it's not far from now. So,
well, Greg's is, but we'll get to that in a minute.
All right, so we have with us joining for the whole hour, Greg Hatch. He's a congressional candidate for District 3 in Long Island. Welcome.
Thank you.
Welcome.
Thank you.
Greg Hack for Congress, my district.
Did I pronounce it wrong? Hack.
It's Hack.
Hack. Okay,
Yep.
I apologize.
That happens all the time.
That's all righty. So you were born and raised in Hicksville.
I was.
And you grew up a normal, middle class, I assume, family, hardworking.
Yeah.
Focus on community and integrity. And I know you went to the Civil Air Patrol when you were in junior high. So let's talk about your early life that led you to where you are today.
Okay. Yeah. I grew up in Hicksville, like I said. My father was a union president. Sadly, I lost him about 10 years ago, but he was a really great man and taught me pretty much everything that you need to be taught to be a good person, be someone who really can contribute to society and cares about the people around them. And he's just a really great man. I miss him every day.
Aw.
Yeah, good man.
Well, you got someone shining down on you while you go through this campaign and watching you be a great father and husband, which I know you are.
Thank you.
So in your middle school years, you started in service, with the Civil Air Patrol, right?
I did.
And what led you, how did you come to pick that as something you wanted to work within?
Long Island has such a rich history in aviation, especially, when you think, I think even it's actually in the district where Charles Lindbergh actually took off.
That's right.
From Roosevelt Field, Mitchell Field, and crossed the Atlantic, and that was just a real amazing thing. He was a hero of mine. Actually, my dog is named Charles Lindbergh. Even though it's a girl.
That's funny.
We call her Lindy,
I love
so.
that.
Oh, that's where
That's
that's
adorable.
awesome.
Yeah. But I love aviation. I became a pilot later on, not in the Air Force. I was a security policeman in the Air Force. But I always loved aviation. It's the perfect blend of science and adventure, and I just really love it. So
That's great.
Were you a pilot just personally for yourself?
Personally,
You
yeah,
didn't
correct.
work in the field?
No.
Yeah, but he inspired his daughter, who's now a pilot.
Yeah,
Oh, wow.
16 years old. She can fly a plane by herself, but
Wow,
she
that's
cannot drive a
incredible.
car by herself.
It's amazing, right?
Did she do the BOCES program?
She didn't.
No.
It's funny because I love aviation so much. I offered my 3 children flight lessons, and she jumped on it. So at 16, that's what she wants to do. She's going to be a pilot. She wants to be a commercial pilot.
Oh,
and
wow.
Fly for the airlines or Red Bull. That's what she's
All right, hey, whatever.
Those
She's
kind
going
of
to learn a skill and she's a beautiful young lady. She's amazing.
well on her way. So
Yeah.
she's doing very well.
So what'd you do after that? After you had a young pilot
Yeah.
career?
After that, well, I wasn't a pilot until later in life.
Oh.
I worked since I was 13. We had a wonderful home. I had a great upbringing, great parents, great family, based in faith and service, and just really great way to grow up. But
Grounded,
we
very
didn't have a
grounded.
lot. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Just like I'd like my kids to be raised. And that's what we're doing. But we didn't have much, so I had to work early. I was 13 years old, and I had got my first job. I was washing dishes at Alfredo's Swiss Chalet in Hicksville.
Yeah.
Which was great. The waitresses would take me out in the parking lot and let me drive their cars at the end of the night, which was a big treat. So I didn't mind working until 11, 12 o'clock at night. So, but I joined the Civil Air Patrol, which was great, which was kind of like a setup for the military later on. A lot of military discipline and that kind of thing, but search and rescue techniques. Civil Air Patrol is really a wonderful organization. It really is incredible. It's the U.S. Air Force Auxiliary, and what they do is they supplement search and rescue missions. So you learn a lot of search and rescue techniques and mostly circular. Well, I could get into it, but there's
For a young man, it sounds like it would be something really exciting to.
It is. It's
to
like the
get involved in.
flying Boy Scouts.
That's
Yeah.
awesome.
Yeah.
Pretty
yeah.
wild. Pretty cool. Pretty cool thing.
I don't even know if they offer that anymore.
I think
These school, do they?
they're around. Yeah.
I
I don't know if
Bethpage has 'em.
my troop is still around, but
I love that, though.
Yeah. It's really great organization. Really, really good.
So what kinds of experiences did that give you, and where did that lead you?
Well, actually, it gave me some really amazing experiences. One of them was I was able to fly in a KC-135, which is a refueling aircraft. You know, in
Mid-air refueling?
mid-air
Yeah.
refueling, which is pretty amazing.
It is.
So you actually sit in the back of the plane in the boom area, and I sat next to the guy, and you're laying on your stomach, kind of like this, and while the guy's manipulating the boom. And then you have these there were F-16s that came up underneath us, and they're
It's incredible.
It's like being in a Mission
It's
Impossible
incredible.
movie
Yeah.
as a kid.
Yeah, or Top Gun.
Top Gun, that's what I was really thinking.
Yes.
for a young kid to do that, that was so
Incredible.
much fun. I got to go around Air Force One for the first time, which was great. We did a trip to Andrews Air Force Base, which was pretty amazing.
Awesome.
Nice.
That's nice.
And then on the weekends, there's private pilots that offer their aircraft and everything for search and rescue missions. So they go and do training. So when you go to the airport at Republic Airport, we would sometimes get to fly, which was
That's
pretty cool.
awesome.
Especially when
Nice.
you couldn't afford it back then. I couldn't afford flight lessons back
I
then.
couldn't
I
afford them
definitely
now.
wouldn't ask my parents for that. I can assure you that.
That's
so
great.
this all led you into the Air Force.
It did.
And how many years did you serve?
I served just under 4 years. I signed up for 4 years, but I was trained as a security policeman. I was trained down at Lackland Air Force Base, and then was actually stationed in Crete, Greece, at Heraklion Air Station, Crete, Greece, which is pretty good duty if you can get it.
Right?
So-
Yeah.
Beautiful.
Beautiful area. Yeah.
Absolutely.
But it was an amazing time back then. I was in from 88 until 91, the middle end of 91. And in 89, the Berlin Wall came down. I happened to be in Berlin when that occurred,
Oh, wow.
which was an amazing time. I mean, it really felt like there was never going to be another war the next after that happened.
If only.
If
Right?
only,
Yeah.
If
exactly.
only.
Yeah.
Yeah, but it was a pretty amazing time. Like a year and a half after that, in '91, the Soviet Union fell apart. The president at the time said, we don't need a big military anymore. So if you're a first termer in Europe, you could get out. I just happened to have met a young lady and fell in love for the first time, and she was a German girl. And I moved to Germany, learned the language, and built a business there, and went to school as much as I could there, but there wasn't much I could do there in that regard. But came back after that and decided to go to school, but I worked.
Law school, right?
Well, I had to go to college first.
Okay.
But I worked. I had to work a full-time job. Nobody was paying for my college except me. So,
Been there.
yeah. So I had a full-time job at CBS Broadcasting in Manhattan.
What were you doing there?
I worked for. My father was the president of Operating Engineers, Local 30 in Queens, and so I worked in the engineering department as a helper, which was a pretty good experience. I got to meet a lot of the newscasters
Yeah, that's
and
awesome.
have discussions with them about geopolitics, which is one of my
Favorite topics?
favorite topics.
Is that kind of what helped push you toward law school? Some of those encounters, and what made you want to continue and go on to law school?
I love the law. I love knowing the law. I love the equal application of the law. I really love certain types of law, which are the types of law I didn't get into, but I really love constitutional law. I love criminal law. I really enjoy them a lot. But,
So what did you end up focusing on for yourself?
Well, my dad, as a union member, was exposed to asbestos quite a bit, and in reality, a lot of the union members were as well, and they were affected by it. My dad wound up dying from not a malignant disease. He had pleural plaques and loss of elasticity of the lungs, and he died from it. But what really struck me about that was that the asbestos companies knew for decades that it causes cancer and kills people, but they didn't say anything for decades. And you think of the countless numbers of people that died from it.
And suffered.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
All the loss
Yeah,
and suffrage.
so that galvanized my desire to really do something about that.
Sounds like the MO of the powers that be in every aspect.
Yeah. Yeah. So that led you formed your own law firm.
I formed my own law firm.
And then how did 9/11 come into play?
Well, 9/11 occurred just months before we started the firm.
Okay.
So we didn't have a lot of resources at the time. I had generated a lot of business. I came up with a software and developed the software that actually helped generate a lot of business, and it was able to fund us for a little while. So we, when 9/11 happened, it was a very patriotic time, and I wanted to do something. We decided to represent affected people for free, for pro bono.
Wow,
that's awesome.
There were no other law firms that were really doing it, but I felt like we really needed to do it, and we did. Which
It's a hard way to start
Yeah.
off, right? Like
it is.
doing,
Yeah.
It is. But they
legal
were.
work.
But it was shocking to me because a lot of firms, very rich firms, that were charging not just a third. A third is standard in New York. They were charging 40%.
Wow.
Getting the okay to charge 40%. And these cases were significantly easier than anything that you would have to do in the court system because you don't have the normal due process aspects of it that you have to.
That's some audacity.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly.
It's like preying upon people, right? When they're vulnerable.
Exactly.
It's exploiting people in a vulnerable position.
And now
you're
you
in
see-
position to help them,
Yeah.
and they just want quick, rapid help.
And now you see the results of 20-something years later now.
I
how
lost
many
a friend
people. It's
many
terrible.
years ago. Yeah, one of my college friends.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, then he went on to
Exactly.
become a very successful law firm and lawyer, which that heart in the beginning, I think, paid off.
Yeah.
Hopefully, in the end.
That's kind of how I like to live my life.
Yeah.
I'm good to the people around me. I like to be engaged in the community and the issues of the day, and that's what really gets me going.
All
That's
right.
the best.
That's great.
It is.
We got a few seconds left before we have to cut to commercial. So when we come back, we're going to touch on topics as far as what you're doing now, and like I said, you're running for
What
the
led
district.
him to
Yeah.
congressional
Yeah.
candidate?
Riverhead.
Jay pushing him. No, I'm kidding.
All right. So we'll be back in just a minute with Greg Hack.
Thanks for tuning in.
Robert Cornicelli doesn't write for attention. In What is White, Cornicelli exposes an uncomfortable truth. Whiteness isn't an identity, it's a weapon, one used to divide us. While the system thrives on guilt and control, it's for everyday Americans ready to push past guilt, question the lies, and reclaim who they are. Proceeds support the Veteran Recovery Coalition, helping veterans rebuild their lives. What is White? Available now.
Who broke the television? Can we laugh at that? Sounds like me.
As of this week, public gay sex will now be mandatory.
Am I the only one who could see his lips move?
Cheekbones, baby.
I'm sorry, maybe I overreacted.
Corporate transfer, fine professional, moving and storage, and inventory management.
Hey, fellow Patriots, it's Cindy Gross here, host of Right for America from your favorite place, the America First Warehouse. You've seen me show on my show so many products from this country's #1 most patriotic manufacturer with close to 400 products. You need to exchange the products you use in your house to this company and make your dollars count in our country.
All right, live from Studio 6B on a Friday night, live at the America First Warehouse. Live at the America First Warehouse on a Friday, Real America's Voice, all across the country, 103.9 LI News Radio, all across your radio, Suffolk County, Long Island. Glad you're in.
It's me, Joe the Box, the America First Warehouse, most patriotic venue in all the land.
The America First Warehouse, a beacon for all to see, a symbol of unity. For the patriots of America, we stand tall and free. The America First Warehouse, where our thoughts will always be.
Welcome back to the Patriots podcast, and we are back with Greg Hack, who is running for congressional. Let's try to say that.
I'm not the only one on a Tuesday.
Congressional District 3 on Long Island. Now, your election is not until November of next year, 26.
Correct,
So you
correct.
just recently announced your candidacy, correct?
A week ago. We did a week
I'm
ago.
going to tell the world that you're going to hear Greg's name a lot.
Yeah.
Selfishly, he's in my district.
Yeah.
And I want to get Swazi out, and I want to get Greg in.
For sure.
So that's what we're going to be working on.
All
Yep.
right.
So we'll have you here as time goes
Yes.
on, and going to keep pushing the issues and your positions on them. And
There's very few people
Yeah.
I'd get heavy into a campaign for. Greg's one of them, but even seeing Rob on the commercial, I was like, oh. I love you, Cornicelli, if you're watching, but that takes gears off of your life.
all right,
Now
so
we're getting
gonna-
you fresh.
Bill's up there nodding with me, right? I know he is.
So we're going to talk about issues that are important to you. So we'll start with crime and safety. So tell us about what your thoughts are, what your feelings are about it, what your plan would be if you were, when you win, not if you win, but when you
When
win.
you win.
'cause
Let's
we're gonna,
manifest
we're going to
that.
make sure that you're going to win. And let's go. Let's just talk about
Keep
everything
Nassau
that's
County
important
great
to you.
again.
Yeah.
Well, crime and safety. I mean, we really need to bring back broken windows policing. I think we need to do exactly what Rudy Giuliani did.
Yes.
Instead,
Love that.
Worry about the little things. When you let the little things go, then the big things start.
That's right.
You know,
Yeah.
The
we need to-
prerequisite.
we need to back our police. We need to give them the tools that they need to do their job instead of
Defunding them?
not supporting them and defunding them. Exactly.
Yeah.
We need to give greater resources to the district attorneys who actually prosecute the crimes that our police go out there and risk their lives to bring in, and instead of just having this revolving door of cashless bail.
Yeah, catch and
absolutely-
release, catch and
it's
release.
Absolutely ridiculous.
I think between the catch and release and the bail reform,
Yeah.
and then also this idea that police should be able to be held personally, civilly responsible if something goes wrong on the
Right.
job. I get that there are some egregious police officers out there, but it's not the majority.
As a whole, it's
and
not.
I think it shackles them because they don't feel confident
Absolutely
doing the
does.
job that they need to do. So not only is there no real reward because they do the job, and even when they do it well, those people land right back out on the street. But to do the job well sometimes requires force or difficult things that can come into question. And who wants to risk their livelihood, their home, their life, their reputation, or maybe even their freedom?
Well, I think taking away that immunity is exactly what handcuffs, like you said, we need to back our police, not handcuff them and make their jobs more difficult.
Let's go.
I mean, the one very good thing I could say is, thank God, Nassau County is one of the safest counties in the country.
Yeah.
It really is, and that is a great thing to come into. I mean, of course, there's always room to make it better, but that's one thing I'm very happy for the amount of money we spend to live there.
We do spend a lot of money, which brings us to taxes.
Yes, that's
Let's talk about Long Island property taxes.
Oh, don't get me
Ouch.
started.
Because
Yeah.
that's not hard just on like a homeowner living in their home. It causes rent to go up. It increases the cost of living for everybody, no matter if you're in ownership or not. So what are some strategies there?
Well, in general, that's actually one of the reasons I'm running. I'm running because I was told when I was a kid by my dad and my mom that you can work hard. It doesn't matter if you're rich or poor or whatever. If you work hard, if you do the right thing, if you pay your taxes, you go to work every day, you deal with the monotony of day to day, and you try to make your world and your country and your community a better place to live, you will succeed. And thankfully, that was right for me. It actually worked out for me. But I'm very
For our
nervous
kids, though, right?
for my kids
Yeah.
and your kids and their kids, and that's why I'm doing this. I'm not doing this for me. I'm fine.
My daughter left the state as a what was she in 4 years? She got tenure as a school teacher on Long Island. She left because she didn't see a future that was bright here.
Yeah.
And very few people stay. So then you're also searching for community.
Yeah,
People
right.
doing life your age, having kids, working. It's
Right.
really rough here.
It's very rough. It's very rough. It's property taxes, and what do you get for it? I mean, it's just insane to
I'm
me.
looking at houses myself right now in our district, specifically in my town. It's next to impossible to afford something or even find something. It's just hard.
Yeah. I
It
was
is.
able to come back. I mean, I lived abroad for a while. I lived in Manhattan for a number of years, and I came back here to raise my family. I don't think that's a possibility for a lot of the children of our friends and my my children and their children, and that's what scares me.
And Long
because
Island is such a beautiful
it's
place.
an amazing
It's
place.
so beautiful.
It's a nice place to
Sure, we
raise a
have-
family.
It's beautiful.
Yeah.
It's funny, when everything started going haywire under the Biden administration, my wife said, you know what, it's getting crazy, we should move, we should go down to North Carolina, and we had talked about that, and I thought to myself, no, we're not running away. This is our home.
That's
you
That's why we're
His
still
beautiful
here
wife,
all the
and she has a
time.
great name too, by the way.
Someone breaks into your home, you don't go scurrying out the back door.
No.
You stay and
Yeah.
fight. And you
That's right.
Yeah, that's what's worth. That's the most important thing. Is your
Well,
family,
that's
your
one of the
home.
reasons why when people say I'm surprised you're still in New York, I don't want to get run out of New York. Like I'm not
Yeah.
ready to go yet. I feel like some of us have to stay back and fight, and
Yep.
until God tells me otherwise, I'm here to do it. But it's not easy. But it's the greatest state in the world. In the world, I think New York is like the epicenter of like at
It has
least
so much
America,
to offer.
right?
Yeah.
And then Long Island and Nassau County. I mean, the whole island. Obviously, we're in Suffolk now, but our county's a great county, and I want to keep it that way.
Yeah.
That's why we
Yeah.
need you.
Thank you.
So can you talk to us about some of your strategies more specifically? Like how would
With-
you go about helping reduce cost of living, reduce property taxes in New York, and give some sort of relief to the working person?
Well, I think by and large what we need to do is we need to stop spending money that we don't have.
Mm-hmm.
We need to really be more effective, and we need to be more
Fiscally
austere
responsible.
with the money that we're spending. I mean, I think we're mortgaging our children's future and our grandchildren's future for comfort today, for
Right.
us. That's not right. That's not right. Do you know the household debt for our national debt for each household is $257,000.
I believe it.
I do too.
Insane.
I live it.
Does that include mortgage debt?
No, that's our portion of the debt. Our portion of the national debt, the $37 trillion dollars.
Dear
Yeah.
Lord.
Isn't that crazy?
It's insane. It's insanity.
$257,000. And that's supposed to go. That encompasses. Is it? I don't want to give a wrong percentage, so I won't say it. But that number is supposed to go up quite significantly, and then by 2053, that's supposed to go up 79%.
Oh my God.
And I hate to say this, but the big beautiful bill did not help that. It didn't.
Not that. But you know what? We're changing around. We're changing. Well, actually, you know what? I would back up on that. I would argue with you on that.
Yeah.
But I'm not going to argue
That's
with
the
you now.
lawyer in him. You can. We want that.
You can. Well, I would like. Tell us.
Well-
because that's been a big argument out there, and a lot of the things that I've looked at, I'm no expert, and I haven't dug in and read every little thing, but I think I've definitely felt it fell very short.
Well, the reduction in certain taxes, reduction in certain corporate taxes, reduction in taking care of working people, like no tax on tips, no tax on overtime. I mean, that really helps. That helps someone who's really trying to make ends meet. I mean, I know some single mothers that I was talking to that are waitresses. They get taxed on their tips. Not anymore. That's going to help quite a lot, especially with the cost of childcare and what it costs to raise a kid in this district, especially. It's absolutely insane. But I think we just need to be very cautious about how we spend our money. And I think President Trump is doing a fantastic job. He's reducing regulations. He's reducing taxes. He's going to hopefully extend those tax cuts.
Yeah, the credits, the tax.
And what that does is that creates greater economic environment for entrepreneurs, the people who actually create jobs. I'm from a union family. I believe in the American worker and doing everything that we can because they're the people who bring us to prosperity.
That's right.
However, it also takes the entrepreneurs and the people who are building businesses because we don't have jobs without that.
That's right.
Yeah.
So I'm a very pro-business, but also very pro-worker, pro-union candidate. For
That's
sure.
awesome.
And we have to continue to root out this waste, fraud, and abuse.
Right.
Absolutely,
It's-
100%.
It's criminal. It's so criminal how they've gotten away with what has taken place all these years, and
And
it's
that
just
is-
been hidden.
And that's another thing. You have, like I said, all these people out there, the people in this country who work hard every day, deal with the monotony, go through and worry about their bills, but pay their taxes.
I don't know what you're talking about.
Okay, Miss 70-hour work week.
No, but the good people of this country, especially in my district, in our district,
Yes.
they don't have representation. They have the appearance of representation.
It's garbage.
They have, and when you have, like, one of my issues is are members of Congress trading on non-public information and increasing their wealth exponentially with a $179,000 a year job. becoming multimillionaires in
Right.
just
Yeah.
a couple of years. And
Right.
how do they do that? They do that because they're able to do something in Congress that
Right.
they're not allowed to do on Wall Street.
They're bought and sold.
Yeah.
And that incenses me because what they did, there's something called the Stock Act, which prevents you from doing these kind of things. However, what happens is the enforcement of the Stock Act violations is not done by an outside entity. It's done by Congress itself.
They're
So it's
auditing
the
themselves.
Fox, yeah, it's the fox in front of
Right.
It's the
Yeah.
fox in charge of the
Fox
hen
charge
house.
watching
It's
the
like
hen
one of
house,
the
yeah.
basics of like accounting. You don't have a person receipting that puts, counts the money that goes to the bank. You don't. You don't.
Exactly.
You just
Right.
don't.
So I'm going to assume or guess that these are not wildly popular beliefs within the establishment on either side, because we see the corruption throughout
Right.
in the uniparty.
Right.
So I'm just curious, like, how do you feel like you'll be able to stand that kind of ground, and how are you going to make a difference when you get elected?
That's a good question.
We've
I
just got
appreciate
We've got about a minute and 15 left. So
Okay, I can try and squeeze it in.
okay, we'll come back to it.
Okay, let's come back to it. Yeah, because I'd rather.
All right. So we'll come back to
We'll play
that thought.
Bob's.
But
Want to end with Bob's Kern's video?
yeah, we have enough time for that.
I
We have a
think
minute
so.
left?
Well, if we do, oh, maybe not. Nope.
Not yet.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Okay,
we'll do that at
it
the end.
later on. Okay.
That's all right.
That's fine. That's fine.
You want me to do a flyer real quick?
Sure.
All right, guys, can you bring up the Saturday's event, please, the concert? I'll talk on it really quick to close us out of this. So I'll let the audience know we have a concert this Saturday. Our good friend Joe Cumia with his, he has 3 cover bands. This one is the Steely Dan cover band. This Saturday night here at the America First Warehouse. The house was rocking last month when we did the Almost Journey band with them, so it was a lot of fun. So you can go on our
Yeah.
website, www.theamericafirstwarehouse.com. Go to our events tab. You can sign up there. We ask that everybody registers. A lot of fun. Great night. Hang out with Patriots. Have a great time. We think we'll show you a video at the end that Joe made for it. And then when we come back a little bit later, Sunday, we have a very special caravan that we'll be doing that I'll talk to you about a young man, big patriot with Down syndrome who's not doing very well. So we'll be right back, and we'll bring you to that later. Thank you.
Judges, broken families, families torn apart. This is injustice. If you've been wronged by the system, join us. Don't stand alone. Hi, I'm Gary Jacobs, president of Americans for Legal Reform. We're the oldest legal reform group in the United States. The justice system in the United States should be transparent, fair, and open to everybody and accessible. Unfortunately, many times that's not the case. At Americans for Legal Reform, we are here to help. Join the movement. Visit AmericansForLegalReform.com and help reform the system before it fails you.
Hi, my name is Elena Ruseva, aka Megalangela. Please check my art at www.megalangela.vip.
Are you a musician, comedian, actor, filmmaker, or artist who stands for traditional American values? Do you believe in the preservation of our nation, our culture, and our freedoms? If you share our passion for America and want to use your talents to make a difference, we want to hear from you. Our mission is clear. Through the arts, we uphold the principles of freedom, faith, family, and the American spirit. It's time to step up to the mic and make your voices heard. So contact us at AmericanConservativeArtists.com. The Queens Village Republican Club is America's oldest Republican club, founded in 1875. Situated in President Trump's hometown in Queens, New York, we are America First MAGA Republicans, empowering fellow Republicans to get involved in the game of politics at the grassroots level. We host inspiring monthly club meetings on the first Thursday of each month at 8 p.m. For more information, please go to our website at www.qvgop.org.
It's Tuesday here at the America First Warehouse. I am Joe the Box. And I'm John the Blanket.
Freddie Rubino here with my podcast. That's what I'm talking about. Coming to you live from the most patriotic venue in the land.
Welcome to Right for America.
I'm James Justice. We got Stephen Ruth over here. What are we doing, Steve? Fighting Welcome to Tune In Tuesday of the Patriots podcast, live streaming every Tuesday night at 7:30.
Another edition of On the Right Side here, and you can catch us weekly, Wednesdays at 2 p.m. Eastern Time.
And welcome to Liberty's Cage, where we rip the veil off America's broken justice system. Prisons that crush spirits and a society that shuns people who have paid their price.
Well, welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to the Kevin Downey Jr. podcast. Be free, stay free.
Welcome to Suffocating in Suburbia with me, your host, Stevie GB.
Welcome back to the Patriots podcast, and we join back with Greg Hack as we're discussing issues that are important to you and to,
Yeah, well, we left off
on Long Island.
Yeah, to all of us, anybody who's awake and aware and been paying attention and aggravated and fed up. We were talking about. You were specifically talking about the insider stock trading that goes on in the Congress and with our elected representatives. And there are clearly other things. I'm sure everybody has a top list of things that they think are the biggest, most egregious problems that we have. The question is, how will you, as a member of Congress, fight against that to represent the people truly?
Well, that's a good question. The way that I intend to fight for it is, I'm incorruptible. There's no one who can get to me, who can pay me off, who can do anything like that. I've been very successful in my life. I built 2 of the top law firms in New York. They're nationally recognized. And I did that by treating the people who work for me very, very well and doing right by them. That's what I attribute my success to. But like I said, I'm incorruptible, and I have a responsibility, and I consider it a very sacred responsibility to be the best possible candidate I can be. So I'm actually going around the clock, starting a week ago, doing everything from learning every issue, getting policy briefings, getting briefings on Congress.
You already went to Congress and took a class.
Oh, wow.
The same week he announced.
Yeah.
That's great. That's
To
terrific.
DC, I meant to DC to take a class.
But I couldn't possibly ask people for their trust and support unless I was willing to do everything I could possibly do. I stepped away from my firms. I don't need to go and grab with both hands for the next 20 years and make as much money as I can. No, my family is fine. We're going to do fine. We're pretty humble people. We just, everything is fine. And this is how I want to spend my next 20 years.
So you want to be an actual public servant.
An actual public servant.
Thank you for
and I
that.
think that's what we're missing. Yeah.
Yes.
We have been missing
Thank you
that.
for your military
It's been upside
service
down.
again.
Thank you.
And now we turn to more military service.
Yes.
And another guest.
Guy Leggio is joining us, and you are running for Suffolk County Legislature District 9.
Yes.
And what towns does that cover?
That covers Bayshore, Islip Terrace, CI, Hauppauge, and Brentwood.
All righty.
Yeah.
So from doing a little bit of research, I was checking out your website
That's
and
all
to
right.
see what you stand for and issues that are important. This is a big election. This is a big
I think so.
big spot that, it's...
I think it's time. I enjoy what you just said about integrity and all that stuff. You know what? I'm that type of guy, and I'm a 40-year career bricklayer and all that kind of stuff. I paid my dues, and I know what the people want, and I want to represent the people the right way.
I love this.
Amen.
I love this.
Your resumes are great.
This has been what we've been waiting for.
Yeah.
For Long Island. We need this on Long Island for
What
sure.
inspired you to want to run?
I've again, the
Andy made him do
military, Andy. But I was in the military 4 years when I graduated high school and all that kind of stuff. And I got out and I became a volunteer fireman. I do that, and I'm a bricklayer. And then all of a sudden I became a varsity wrestling coach. I was a wrestling coach for 27 years at a high school. Not having a college education, they hired me to be the varsity coach. And when you make a difference in the kids' lives and you do things what the right things are for the right people, for the right reasons, and you get good results, it's not about winning. It's what you could teach them in life. Most of my kids now are doing it. They're cops, they're doctors, they're doing all this stuff. My dad was a wrestling coach. My dad is the founder of Kid Wrestling on the whole East Coast. And I kind of lived his legacy a little bit. He's a bricklayer also, and you know what? Family values mean a lot to me.
Yeah.
And bringing that family value to the legislature to make them work together to get things done the right way. I just left we had a little bit of debate on what was going on. And if we bring the families to the table, representation will be right, and a lot of stuff that we're doing.
It's been lacking for so long, and it feels like, this is one of the things that we were in my questions, in our questions. You know, we've been paying attention for a long time, all the ladies on this stage, as many of our watchers and viewers, and we see how corrupted both sides have been, even the conservative side, the Republican side, and it's problematic, and we cannot allow it any longer. And so, you know, my question to you is, after coming out of a meeting and having hearty debate with constituents, you know, are you seeing a change, a shift for people to actually walk in integrity and serve the public well? Or do you feel like it's so entrenched it's going to be a very, very big uphill battle, even at the local level, because it happens right here in our own neighborhoods? Dirty.
You know, since I got on the campaign trail, I've got involved with, you know, the Republicans and conservatives who back me, of course, you know, and the Democrats that I know. You know, we all know each other, you know, and they know my ground base is basic. But I've seen our Suffolk County has kind of really starting to come together to fight the right reasons, fight for everything for the right reasons. I think, you know, law enforcement's important, you know, everybody, law enforcement, protection, right? Now they're going after, you know, the prostitution and all this stuff, the women, you know, all the right stuff that we got to get people going in the right direction, you know, kids programs, you know, mental health issues and stuff like that. There's all kinds of stuff that we're starting to tackle. So I'm kind of impressed, and I'm hoping that I can help push the way. You know, I'm just, like I said, I'm a basic guy. I don't come in on this level. I come in on ground level. My boots are on the ground, and I'm going to run.
And that speaks to who the community is.
Yeah.
You know, it does.
But I
That's
think
what we're
also
looking for.
With both of our candidates here tonight, I think, maybe you guys can correct me if I'm wrong, coming from a military background, and thank you for your service.
Yes.
Thank you.
I always want to thank you guys. I want to believe that you've already fought for the country and you've seen how downhill it's gone. Now it's like, this is your time to rise up again and defend us again on a different level, because that's the training that you guys had and probably the heart that brought you in the first place. And I love when the veterans step up to do this. That's why I was part of a veterans, you know, campaign, because there's a different grit. You guys have a different love for the country, and I think I put a lot of trust in that in your fight.
Yeah, you know, it's funny. Well, I served in the Cold War, in the final years of the Cold War, fighting the communists, right? Now to think we're doing it in our own backyard.
Yeah.
That really galvanizes my resolve.
I mean, we're looking at a communist mayor in New York City, you know,
it's demonic.
Right around the corner, you know.
Well, the thing is, it's now, that's just in your face. The truth is, communism has invaded every institution, our politics, our education system, our healthcare system, our business, our legal system. It's literally invaded everything, Marxist, communist ideologies. So that's a massive thing to have to fight against when it's been decades of slowly subversing our democracy or our republic.
That's how they do it.
Yeah, people didn't even know what was happening.
And that's the thing. We're not just fighting the communists. We're not just fighting China. We're not just fighting Russia. We're not fighting all these different agency wars everywhere. I mean, we're fighting it in our own backyard. I mean, in our country right now, I mean, to think about it scared me the last couple of years under the Biden administration to see what's happened in our education system, to see what's happened in our higher education systems, even to these ridiculous protests, these George Soros-funded protests. I mean,
still happening.
That's just a threat to national security beyond belief. I mean, that's almost as bad as China. China steals. We're at war with China. I mean, make no bones about it.
Oh, yeah, for
We're
sure.
at economic war with China.
For sure.
China as an authoritarian government, they wage economic war on us by identifying, let's say, the EVs in the United States, the EV industry. And what they'll do is they'll subsidize a $100,000 car and charge $10,000 for it and flood our market with it. So it completely eviscerates our industrial base. And when it eviscerates our industrial base, we can't fight a war when the time to fight a war becomes, because then we can't repurpose our manufacturing and industrial base to wartime needs.
That's right.
And that's why they do it. And that's what we have to be aware of. I mean,
Very scary.
that's why we have to really fight it in our country, and we have to fight it hard.
I believe our country's ready for anything. I was a gunner's mate, missiles, and when I was in Beirut, Lebanon when they blew the embassy up.
Yeah.
And we're ready. We're ready for anything. It's just that hands can't be tied. You got to do what you have to do, and we have to make tough decisions.
Right.
And it's tough.
Well, when you have the most powerful military and the most powerful economy in the world wielded by a weak man, like under Biden, You don't have the most powerful military, and you don't have the most powerful economy either. But when you have it wielded by a Donald Trump, you do. And that's what we're seeing, and we're seeing the benefits of
what
it.
he did with Australia yesterday, or whatever he did with the minerals and all that stuff. That's a big move.
It's a big move.
That's a big move right there.
And that's the thing. We need people to make big moves.
guys.
We need him to make big moves, and he's making them.
So much to come.
Yeah.
No, there's so many things to come.
The best is yet to come.
It's 1 year. It's 1 year.
It's only not even.
It's not even.
9 months.
It's 9 months. Yeah.
Man's doing miracles.
He's done amazing.
Yeah, we need to replenish the petroleum reserve. I mean, the emergency petroleum reserve. We need to open up for drilling. We need to drill, baby, drill.
That's
you
right.
know? We were energy independent, and unfortunately, what Biden has done, and by taking away those licenses to drill, and forgive me if I'm talking too much.
No, it's okay. It's good to have it going back and forth.
But if he's taken away the licenses to drill, then we're going to be looking to our enemies to serve our needs for our fuel, for our military, when we're going to be at war in the next couple of years. It just makes no sense whatsoever.
Yeah,
That's why I
insane.
shudder to think what would have happened if Kamala Harris won the
Well, it's
election.
important to connect all
boys.
Yeah, it's important to connect all the dots too, whether it's at the national level and the local level. All of the policies, like you look at DEI, you look at the green space and sustainability and the environment and global warming. And you see how all these things tee up, and the trickle down of they package up like a nice little bow. It sounds like this is good. We should want to take care of our earth. We should want to include everybody and everybody be fair. But it's a slow, insidious burn. And like just with the cars and the fuel, they start your carbon footprint and your net zero. These things are a push towards stuff that is weakening our society
100%,
overall.
100%.
You can't not connect those dots.
Mandates, unfunded mandates, and mandates that you have to use the electric buses. Look, I'm on a school board, and I'm telling you, right, 18 years on a school board. These unfunded mandates that are being delivered down to the schools, and what we have to deal with, that we have to go to the taxpayers, ask them to pay for stuff that we don't really need, but we got to do it so we can get federal funding. It's just a different ball game. I mean, to have electric buses, I got it. We need electric thing, but have you ever fought an electric fire? It burns for 2 days.
There is no fighting it. It just has to burn out.
You can speak to that.
Yeah.
Well, that's something you can fight at the local level, local control.
Local control.
Not regionalization.
100%.
And that's where it has to start.
Yeah.
So, all right. So when we come back, we're going to cut to break for just a couple seconds. So when we come back, we're going to continue with this. I like having this. This is an interesting conversation we have going on.
I'll let God tell us more.
We'll be right back.
The America First Ultra MAGA store for all your MAGA needs. We sell t-shirts, tumblers, flags, hats, sneakers, bumper stickers, and a whole lot more. The most patriotic America First retail store. The America First Ultra MAGA store.
Gold and silver, it's God's money, and we all need it. Unfortunately, the whole precious metals industry is rigged in favor of the wealthy people. In fact, it's so complicated that 95% of all Americans don't own any precious metals. What the industry needed was a way for us to buy fractional units of precious metals, get free storage in a secure vault, have them insured, take physical possession of the metals, or instantaneously liquidate the assets at one of the highest buyback prices in the industry. Well, now there is. It's called a sound money account, and everybody needs one. With a membership, you can start buying gold and silver with as little as $1. Now that fits everyone's budget. Also, our members can gift gold and silver between each other in our Sound Money accounts. What a great way to pass on generational wealth. You'll be able to rest easier knowing you have the security and flexibility found in having your very own Sound Money account. Please scan the QR code or go to tafwsoundmoney.com to learn more. The America First Warehouse wants every American to have access to owning their very own precious metals.
Live from Studio 6B on a Friday night, live at the America First Warehouse. Live at the America First Warehouse on a Friday, Real America's Voice, all across the country, 103.9 LI News Radio, all across your radio, Suffolk County, Long Island. Glad you're in.
America First Warehouse was really the most patriotic venue that you can ever imagine. We wanted to build something for people to be able to come to and feel so comfortable and so relaxed, because there is nothing out there like it. We give an opportunity for people to really feel good about themselves and about this great country.
Welcome back to the Patriots podcast. We're in our fourth and final segment, and we're talking to Guy Leggio, who's running for legislature for District 9.
Yes.
All right. And we want to do what we can to help you to get elected.
It's coming up soon.
Yes,
Yes,
it's
very
this
soon.
November 4th.
It went fast.
Yeah.
You know, from April to now, it went fast. Yeah.
It sure does.
It really does.
Wait, the next 2 weeks is going to be nuts.
Yeah, it's a lot. It's a lot. But we're glad you're putting yourself out there.
Yes, I
to be able to serve the
Thank you for
public.
having me.
It is.
Absolutely.
I really want to just
Absolutely.
hone in really quick. These things matter to me. Think about it. Bricklayer, you've been working hard your whole life. Board of Ed trustee, cares about the children, would run into a burning building for you and as a fireman, served our country. These were the things that are so important to a constituent, to me. 'Cause when I think
Character.
someone does those things, I know they're going to have our back, and I want the audience to know that.
That's 100% correct. 100%.
I think America is largely over the smooth talkers. They want, we were just talking about this, people want authentic human beings to be public servants. That's what our country was founded on. It was founded on the principle of serving. People lost everything. They lost their fortune. They lost their lives. They lost their reputation. You know, so.
And these guys are walking away from their careers. You know, Greg just said that. I just asked Guy if it's okay to say.
Yeah, no,
he's
you can say it.
retiring from a bricklayer. He's done his whole life to serve.
Yep.
That's huge.
It's a
And we thank
full-time
you for
job.
that.
You know, these guys, it's called a part-time job, but it's a full-time job. If you do things correctly, you know, I get up at 3 o'clock in the morning, I go to work. That really doesn't, I don't mind, but I'll be getting up at 5 o'clock in the morning. Maybe I can go work out a little bit, but I can start my day right on the ground.
And with 2 extra hours of sleep already, right?
maybe.
Starting at 5 instead of 3. You deserve that.
Might take some time to retrain your body clock, but
I respect that very much.
It's the grit. It's
Yeah.
the grit.
It's New York grit.
It's,
There's
you
nothing
know,
like
it's a
it.
grind. You've been in a grind, and you
Yeah.
keep going. You know, everybody, you know, working families really
Understand.
You know, they understand that part of it. I've been unemployed. I've had to, you know, been out of work 6 months. It gets cold, you don't get paid.
That's right.
You know,
Furloughs,
people don't
layoffs,
understand. They don't get it.
strikes.
There's not
Yeah.
enough work and all that. You go through all these things, and you know, unemployment doesn't make it in your family. You
No.
know, how are you going to pay taxes?
We were just talking about that.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know, and that's why I want to get on this right now. I want to take care of our seniors. You know, the seniors that have put there. I want to do longevity. You know, maybe tax freezing and all that kind of stuff. You own your tax house for like 50 years. You freeze your taxes. They can't be increased, but let's hold
love
them,
that.
hold the line. You know, but you have to own the house. Once you get rid of the house, after 50, you know. It doesn't follow to whoever gets the house after you. But
Right.
stuff like that, you know, seniors built this place, and we got to make sure we take care of them.
That's right.
That's for sure.
Some of them
For
can't
sure.
even afford groceries. It's very sad.
It's bad.
It's bad.
Yes.
It's bad.
Yeah.
It's
the young and the old, right? Like
Yes.
we were saying before, like the young can't afford to stay here and make a life. The middle class, our age, are struggling, and you know, and the elderly are struggling. So there's a very small percentage of people that aren't struggling and having to
And
grind really hard just to
going
make
to
it.
college, these kids are going out of college, they're coming out with a mortgage payment.
Yeah.
You know? How do we allow that to happen? You know, with this in this day and age. Okay, let's let the kids go to college, let's help them, but it should be a 1% payback. Once you have your full degree, show the federal government that you have it or whatever, it's a 1% payback. It isn't there shouldn't be 7-8% on these things.
Yeah.
It's crazy. They got mortgage payments. How the heck are they going to survive?
they can't afford it.
$250,000 she's
Yeah,
paying.
it's
and
crazy.
she's not in the field that she went to college
Yeah.
for.
My daughter is 30 years old, and she and her husband, they cannot live by themselves. I'm living, you know, we live together.
I can't
That's
live by
'cause they
myself
like
either.
you.
You left me.
They can't
That's because
afford
they
it.
like you.
They can't afford it. It's sad, you know. They
But
want to leave.
You're seeing housing now. What's going on with housing? What's going on? Everybody's moving in together. They're having more and more, you know, mother-daughters and all that kind of basements.
Yeah,
you know,
we did it. Yeah.
It's terrible. You know,
Well,
you gotta-
corporations are buying up homes.
Yes.
So it also
land grabs. They're
artificially
trying- yep.
land grabs, and it artificially drives the cost of housing, supply and demand.
Yeah.
And there's not affordable housing on Long Island. So, you know,
You speak about affordable housing, what they're building around towns. They're building all these things with the IDAs and all these guys are getting. And you know what? These contractors that are getting these IDAs, what happens is they're building these big houses, all these big apartments, and then all of a sudden, they're all done, they're occupied. They're supposed to hold that for 10 years. You know what they're doing? They're selling it, and that IDA is staying with that thing. It shouldn't stay. If he sold it for a profit, he should pay back what he took,
Yep.
but he should be invested in that community. For 15 years, and then he can sell it.
Why
That's
are they
the
getting
difference.
why are they getting away with it?
Oh, well,
They pay to get away with it.
you talked about it before.
They pay to get away with it. Yeah, this is the garbage that has to stop.
Yeah.
100%.
The
Establishment
representation needs to
garbage.
change, and we have the start of that right here at this table.
So Greg happens to be running in my district, so I know a lot more about my district in Nassau County. But I guess from your standpoint of what you're hearing from the constituents, what it seems to be the biggest threat of, like, the biggest issue that you need to face right now in your district?
I think right now the biggest thing is what's going on around the community and the people that own these businesses, right? They have all homeless people, and we have a lot of homeless, and we have to find a place to put them. You know, we want to help people, but we can't lock them up. They don't stay, so we got to help people. But those people, maybe you got to sit down next to them once in a while and ask them, what's the matter? You know, hey, how'd you get here? Well, it might be a veteran sitting there, and he has problems. He needs help, but nobody sits down to talk. The fastest thing to do is lock the guy up, and that is not finding the problem. You know, you can't be part of the problem. Be part of the solution in a lot of things that we're doing, and that's some things that I like to go after. You know,
So addressing homelessness.
homelessness, mental health, of course. I think Suffolk Community College like Suffolk Community College should be free for our kids. We should find a way for them to get their associate's degree to get a jump start. We have all these programs in schools. You got the IB programs. You got all these other programs that we have in these schools. They come out with college credits. They go to college for 1 year. They have an associate's degree. It's helping parents. It's helping them. Making sure they get the right education and the right, pushing them in the right directions in a lot of things. Some kids, they're not going to go to school. They need to go to trade school.
Trade school is great.
It's
It's amazing.
Like I'm a tradesman. But we need plumbers. We need electricians. We need HVAC guys. We need
They're the
welders.
busiest
We need-
people.
Especially now with
And most in
IA,
demand.
with
You know,
age
It
of
is
I-
booming like crazy right
Yeah.
now, and in the next couple of years, it's going to be even worse. And they can't find the tradespeople.
They
to do
can't
it.
find the tradespeople to build the nuclear submarines they're building in Groton because they.
Now you speak about that nuclear submarine thing. In West Islip schools, I went and visited them. They're building parts for the subs in Groton, Connecticut, for that submarine company.
Yeah.
And they're actually partnering with the schools, and it starts a whole thing. Actually, I'm going to a school board convention in Manhattan tomorrow night, and it's Thursday and Friday, and we'll go to that floor and we'll see what these all kinds of things that they have for these kids.
Well, that's great. That's how education should be.
Through the
It
STEM
should be
program?
practical.
Yes. Huh?
Is that like done through the STEM program?
STEM and all that. STEM is big right now.
Yeah,
STEM
right.
Is that
doing really
BOCES?
well. Yeah.
BOCES a part of some of
BOCES
these
is doing
things?
very well, yes.
Yeah. BOCES instituted a great STEM program a bunch of
Yeah.
years back. My son went through.
Robotics is big too. You
Yeah.
know, these kids with the robotics and the electronics and stuff, it's helping out them all.
Well, I think,
great.
for so long the trades were downplayed, and,
Yes.
the schools had this thing that they wanted to put forward that you had to go to college. They wanted their stats of how many kids went to what schools, how many got in Ivy League. And the truth is, not everybody belongs going to college, and there's way too many people with college degrees, and there's no good jobs for them.
Yeah, there's no jobs.
People need trades. Like, you cannot have a home without electric and plumbing and all of these things. And, like, to your point, nobody's there doing them anymore. I mean, how long do you wait to get a good tradesperson to come in? And they can charge you anything now because supply and demand.
right.
Supply and demand
Supply
is
and
right.
demand.
Yes.
I told my boys, I'm like, don't waste your time on college.
I don't want my kids in college at all.
Yeah.
I'm like, go do a trade, start a business. Do
probably-
something.
And on top of it,
probably
it's
the
just
type of
put
job
people
that's
into
gonna be
so much
least
debt
affected by
It has.
because we've been pushed into. That's how the society has been pushed. Go to college, and then you amass this incredible debt.
That's so wrong.
I don't know how it's ever going to get paid off. Honestly, I don't know how.
Again, ours has been passed down. So my father had
Yeah.
nine brothers and one sister. So the three of them were bricklayers, four of them were laborers, two owned delis.
Wow.
They all, and one was an auto mechanic.
Did you hear that, Mom? My mom's one girl with 6 brothers. She thought that was bad. How about one girl with 9 brothers? Or 10 brothers? 10 brothers and one girl?
9 brothers and one sister.
girl. My mom
Wow.
had 6 brothers and one girl. See, Mom, it's worse. She's probably watching from the road. So we don't have much time left, and we have to play Bob's video. I just want to know if you want to give a closing, where they could find you on your website.
And you have a debate next week, you said.
Friends of Guy Leggio, that's my website, everything like that. I'm around, all the stuff that I've been doing, knocking on doors and all that stuff. Been doing all the right things. I got a great guy behind me. With,
Yes, you do.
working with me. He's doing a great job, and I can't thank him enough for everything he's done. He brought me here. So
Well, we fell in love with you on
We're
the
so
first
glad.
meeting. He came in his bricklaying thing. Oh, this is the kind of guy we want. Hard worker. He was in his regular stuff.
I thought it's
You
because
clean
I
up
arm
beautifully.
drag. I thought because I arm
Well, I thought he was going to take Joe down. I'm not going to lie. That was a good way to start it. Joe loves you. We all do here. We have your back either way. Whatever happens, we hope you have a home here either way. And I love both of you. And I hope
it's been great.
This is the first of many things.
Yes, yes.
So we are going to, Bob Kern, hold on, I'm really bad because my brain is tired on Tuesdays. We met through our good friend who's his campaign manager. Bob Kern is the incumbent for the Riverhead Town Council. What a gentleman, came in here, was in awe. He's a total patriot. He couldn't make it tonight because he had to go to a meeting last minute. That was very important. But Control Room, if you could just bring up Bob's video, we just want to give him a little plug and wish him well on his election in 2 weeks. So Bob Kearns, nope, not that one. It's the last video that Bill had earlier. It came to me late today. There, I think that's ready for it. Ooh. Nope, not a good connection?
No.
So my guy's name was Andy Whitman. I drew, I was talking about, but Andy Whitman has been helping me the whole way this whole time. So he's done a great job. For me,
Good friend of the warehouse, and we love
Yeah.
him. And the minute he told us he had candidates, it was a no-brainer.
Yeah,
but
yeah, yeah.
you're even better than he
Thanks.
described. You
Thanks.
said they're great. We love you even more than that.
All right, we have a minute left. So do you have any other
I
further
do.
announcements?
I will get to that. So I wanted to, if we could bring up the Tommy Caravan flyer, please. I was starting to say that before. We found out the other day that there's a young man in North Babylon. His name is Tommy. He's 19 years old. He has Down syndrome, and he's not doing well. He doesn't have much time left, and he loves cars and trucks. So he somehow got to the Belmore Patriots. We're going to bring a caravan to him. Then we found out he loves Donald Trump. I said, can you ask his mom if he likes Trump? Because a lot of our cars are very Trump-like. I don't want to offend them. Well, this young man, he's nonverbal now at this point. When he could still speak a few months ago, he used to tell his family and friends that Donald Trump is back and he's getting his country back, which makes me want to cry. And that he used to go on his bus and show his bus driver and the students pictures of Donald Trump. So that just made me fall in love with him even more. We are going to do a special, if any of you are car enthusiasts, trucks, motorcycles, cars, please join us. All the information is on the flyer. It'll be on our websites, the Belmore Patriots, the America First Warehouse, and make this little boy have a special time coming down his block on this Sunday. I'm very honored to do that. And thank you, Jay. Jay brought that to us. Bob's video is working?
For the past 4 years, I have worked very hard for the citizens of Riverhead, finding practical solutions, cutting through the noise, and getting real results. I believe in community, common sense, and putting the people first. After all, we are all Americans, and that's what matters. We all want the same thing: safe neighborhoods and a good quality of life here in Riverhead. Let's keep Riverhead moving forward together. I'm Bob Kern, and I approve this message.
Bob's a great man. We wish you a lot of luck, Bob. We wish you a lot of luck in 2 weeks.
Yes.
Guy.
Thank you.
And in a
Greg,
year.
you got a year, but it's
I got a
going
little
to
time.
fly and be a long year, but we're going to see a lot more of you, too.
Yeah, looking forward to that.
And, yeah, we
Ready
love
for a
having
prayer?
America
Yeah.
First, good men stepping up. Thank you, fellas.
All right.
All right, we close in prayer.
We say our closing prayer.
Heavenly Father, thank you for guiding our time and giving us the freedom to have these conversations. As this election and future elections approach, we ask that you turn the hearts of our leaders and those seeking to lead toward you. Give them wisdom, humility, and the courage to stand for what is right in your eyes. Bless all our families, our communities, and this nation. Keep us grounded in faith, united in purpose, and bold in defending the freedom that you have entrusted to us. In Jesus' name we pray. Amen. And as always,
keep your faith strong, your family close, and your freedom alive. God bless you guys, and stay tuned. We're going to play another short video on the way out for Saturday's event. Thank you very much, everybody.
Good night,
Thank you for tuning
guys.
in.
Thank you.
See you
God
next
bless.
week.
Thank you.